my name's Heather. Welcome back to the House That Nerds Built. So, today I'm going to do a little question and answer. I'm going to answer questions about life, about writing, and about Imogene, who's the main character in my second novel, Imogene the Voodoo Queen. I got some questions on Twitter, and I'm really excited about it. So, first question is any habits that Imogene might have. Other than her many, many vices and reanimating the skeletons of animals, her habits include writing and reading Dora the Explorer fan fiction. Uh, she loves the show, can't get enough of it, and that's that. Then there's what's the author's name? I've seen pictures. She's really cute. No, I'm not. That's not a thing. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Seriously, though, all characters are intentionally or unintentionally extensions of the author. Which parts of Imogene are Heather Pidotto and which parts are not? So my usual throwaway answer to this is that she is nothing like me. And really, she's not much like me. She's a lot braver and brasher, and she's rude, and she's mean, and she only sometimes cares about what other people think of her, and she drinks too much, and I don't drink ever, and yeah, but there are elements. She's smart. I like to think I'm a little smart too. She's meticulous. There are elements of my life that are also meticulous. So I guess that would come from me. And I think skeletons are cool. They're fun to look at. They've got this beautiful symmetry and artistry to them. Personally, I'm like terrified of dead things, like that still have the icky parts attached. I don't like them. So it's kind of funny that I write Imogene, who's just completely all for it. Like bring on the gross. She'll take care of it. So it's a little strange that character sprang from my brain. How did you get into writing? How was the journey into publishing your first book? So I've always been into writing since I could read. I've written stories and poems, and I just love the art of storytelling and just exploring a new world, and I think it's a lot of fun. My first novel is 1 out of 5 items that Adeline Stein left on the bus on the way to the zoo. I know that's a heck of a name. And it's a story of a young lady who leaves her journal on a bus, but instead of trying to find her, the person who found it published it. So it's just this journey of this young woman as she tries to navigate life. She's a little bit odd. She's a little bit off. That seems to be a hallmark of my characters, that they're just they don't necessarily interact with the world in the right way. And so it's a dark comedy, and it's a lot of fun. And I wrote it as my senior honors thesis to graduate college. And I had a blast. I loved it. I was a creative writing major. I didn't switch majors around. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I did it. I've just always known that was what I was supposed to do. And so when I graduated, I had this manuscript. And the summer I graduated, I doubled its length. I just kept writing, and I went through editing, and then it just sat. And that's where I decided to self-publish it, because it was going to rot in my drawer forever, because I'm a really anxious person, and I wasn't going to go through the steps to get an agent and a publisher. It was really intimidating for me, so I was like, I'm either going to do it myself or no one's going to read it, so I'm going to do it myself. And the internet's really helpful for that kind of thing. It went relatively smoothly. Okay. Do you ever use scenes or other points from Imogene the Voodoo Queen, the book, in role-playing online? Where do you find inspiration for her character? Also, how is your summer going so far? I'll answer the summer question first. My summer's a little rough. my big, scary milestone birthday is tomorrow, and I am a little bit freaked out about it. I kind of feel like I haven't accomplished enough, and that this is just a big, like, thing that's going to happen that's just really kind of scaring me. So that's that answer. Do I use scenes from the Imogene book in role playing? I do. Actually, on Twitter, a lot of the hashtags bring me back to places in the book. Like, okay, here's the Soul hard copy. So far, it's seeming like it's going to be really, really expensive to print them, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to make it less expensive. Other than that, it'll be like $40, and that's like the cheapest they'll let me make it. And I'm not really sure that's an okay thing. So it's because it has full color illustration. So, like, say it's Halloween. I've got her chapter on Halloween where she makes her sister and niece dress up as characters from Dora with her. And say it's National Pet Day. I've got the pets. And so sometimes I'll share one of the pictures, or I'll share a passage. And when it's Father's Day, we've got this. And Imogene's kind of a father figure for her niece. So there's that. When it's 4th of July, which is especially applicable coming up, there's this, where we talk about the last time Imogene fell in love, and she got her heart broken, and she got monstrously drunk on the 4th of July and had to be hospitalized. So it's stuff like that. There's always a tie back. One of the big differences between the Imogene book and the Imogene I write online is that the Imogene from online has discovered this huge world full of a lot more magic than is in the book. In the book, Imogene's magic is about as magical as you get. There's no, like, angels flying around. There's no Time Lords. There's no, androids. So when I'm writing her online and interacting with all these different characters from all these different universes, I have this great new adventure where I get to look into it and think, wait, how would she fit into the supernatural universe? How would she fit into Vampire Diaries? How would she fit into Doctor Who? How would she fit into Star Trek? And I get to really, how would she fit into Marvel? And I get to really stretch my imagination and figure out what would the natural consequences be of this interaction. Spoiler alert, for Infinity War, I wrote this, like, short thing about what would happen to her after Infinity War, and I think that if she lived through the snap, she'd get murdered. Because she's a necromancer. And so you've got a necromancer, and then you've got people who have had half of their loved ones turned to dust. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a mob of angry people who going to a woman who can't help them. So it's stuff like that. I'm really enjoying the adventure of it. So those are the questions, and thank you for asking them.